Hi, so I'm doing a video about exercises that will help you get very ready to go back on the bar when we get in the gym. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was grip strength, hanging onto the bar, all those wee muscles in your hands that we can work from climbing a rope and things, but most people won't necessarily have any access to a bar at home or in the park. So something you can do is, if you have a ball like a tennis ball that's quite firm, you can give that a squeeze, 10 reps each hand or whatever. So if you find yourself something like that, that makes your hands work, that you can't just crush, so don't do it with a wee easy peel. Something a bit firmer, and then that's a good way for all those wee muscles in your hands, and then you won't feel it just so much when you come back to gripping onto all the apparatus. So next little muscles up are our wrists. So I wanted to do some wrist press ups. So my hands are flat and I'm just lifting the heel of my hand up. So that's something you could do against a wall. I'm just showing you on the sofa. It's not doing too much on the sofa, but if you were standing up, straight arms, that would take some of the weight off if you find that's quite tricky. I'm doing it on my knees in a front support, but you could do it with your legs long as well. And I'm going to do 10 wrist press ups.
Oh yeah, it is.
And something else I'm going to do then, I'm going to go on to just upper body strength in general. So I'm going to do 10 press ups elbows in and 10 elbows out. Let's hope I can do that many. If not, you can try and do that number instead.
Okay, you're saying a lot counts.
I hope you can go a bit lower in your press ups as well. Another good one, all round body tension and strength. Just like on the bar where all your muscles are really having to work all the time to hit a shape and stay there.
Wait, what?
Spider hold.
I respawned.
So
then
that's
I
that.
respawned like
Almost like a dish press up.
like above the
I
whole
need
mat.
to keep my feet
Like I
on
glided.
this mat, so I'm going to have to move my hands
I don't
somewhere
know.
else.
I respawned up there. I like
Trying
respawned
to keep that
above.
long
from
shape.
above.
I'm going to set my timer there
No.
for 30 seconds for this one. Spider press up, that long shape. So you're going to be pushing your belly button into a bit of a dish. Just keep the legs and arms tight. And that's us for that. Ooh, tricep dips. So I've got a sofa handy here for 20 tricep dips. You could do it on the edge of your bed or anything stable. If you're finding it a struggle, feet
Roll
in,
at the top.
if you can, long legs out.
I hate respawning because it takes like 5 seconds. I know, it's still annoying. I mean, do you expect an Alex
That was 20. Over to, not sure why I thought I could do all these exercises. Archer press ups. One side to the other. So I'll try and show you forwards.
Nice.
So like an archer,
Oh my
pulling the bow back,
God,
one
it's
side,
so freaking
other
cool.
side. So I'm really
5
trying to, it's kind of like a
seconds to
one-handed
restart.
press up with a bit of support on the other. So give it a go, see if you can manage 10 or 20, realising I'm a bit off camera there. One side, other side. With any luck, you can get a bit lower. Oh, I should try them on my knees. Take my own advice.
Bow, bow, bang,
And
bang.
that does help a bit.
Good.
And of course, something mentioned in the shoulder workouts video, keeping our shoulders in good condition, ready for bar with in-lows and dis-lows. Working the hands a bit closer as much as you can, straight arms, and try and be in the habit of coming right down to your hips at the front, right down at the back. So a few more sets of them would be ideal, and you can use a rope or a dressing gown cord if that's what you've got instead of a stick. And what you want to be doing while you're working it, a few sessions, hands a bit closer in, really aiming for shoulder width apart in the end up. But if you see any kind of improvement, you're doing fine. Now on to strong shapes for the bar. So of course, number one shape on bar, dish shape. Ready to hold my dish for 1 minute. Arms up, because that's where they'll be on the bar. Ready? So now I'm going to do lifting the top half of my dish, just the arms,
Okay,
head
I'm
and
back,
shoulders. I'll do that.
Okay, right, I'm back.
I'll do that for 10.
Sorry, I
I'll
dropped
do
my
then the
controller
bottom
on, the
half, just the
batteries
legs
fell
for
out.
10, and then both for 10.
Like, not in rage, just I accidentally dropped it over the ledge of my sofa and it smashed
So it's
on
going
my
to
brain.
be the top part, the bottom part, and then both for 10 each. Let's go. 1, 2. Arms up at your ears if you can. Certainly where they'll be on the bar. It's me done my legs
No,
now.
Duncan.
Ready for
No,
both. 1,
yeah,
2.
Duncan.
And I'm going to give my tummy a quick stretch about, doing my happy cat, angry cat. because I'm going to do dish rocks next.
Okay.
And
I'm not gonna
of
kill
course,
you.
usually you'd be swinging on a bar, but we're not on a bar, so I'm going to try and get my rocks really high. It's just a good bit of extra conditioning without a bar. So I'll do 10 rocks. By high, don't mean coming out the dish shape. When your arms are at your ears, look down at your toes when you come up. That's what you would be doing as you release for some of your undershoots.
I wish there was like grenades and stuff, or like smoke bombs.
Release.
That would be so cool. Having
Release.
smoke bombs.
Release.
Just having your
Ready to hold
you
arch
can put,
for 1
put
minute.
stuff back in. Oh, okay. My controller's really slow.
Ready.
Help! Wait! Don't!
Go.
Don't!
Arms at
Oh, my
your ears
controller
again
will
if you
drift.
can.
And it was just.
And well done. Now, same again, I'm going to lift top half of my arch, bottom half of my arch, and then both parts of my arch. So I think just for space, I'm going to bend my elbows. If you've got room, have your arms
No,
at your
wait,
ears.
what?
I'm going to do 10 of each again. 1, 2.
Nah, Duncan, I had my thing on red and it didn't do any damage to you.
Now the legs. 4, 5. And now both for 10. Dish, down. Arch, sorry. Arch, down. Arch, 3. Arch, rocks. Ready for 10 of them. So if you can't join them all
I'm
together,
not doing
don't
damage
worry,
to you.
just keep doing them till you get 10.
Nah, I can't do damage to you anymore all of a sudden. Like
Where are
literally,
we at?
I had it red.
Ooh. Of course, on the bar, you'll be in the air doing your dish and arch shapes. So I wanted to look at jump, dish, jump, arch. So you're going to do your dish and arch jumps with just a wee straight jump in between. So I'm only going to count the dishes and arches and I'll count 20. So you should end up doing 10 of each. I'm not counting the straight jumps, they're just how I'm getting from one to the other. Ready? Pushing right through your ankles. Dish, jump, arch, jump, dish, jump, arch. There we are.
Okay, I've just got to be sneaky.
But we don't all have a bar to do our leg lifts on, so I'm going to do lying leg lifts. Let's do 20. Slow as you can on the way down. So that's tuck in, push up. That's my reverse crunches. If all you can do is a little tucked crunch, that's fine. But looking to get, if you can, push straight up. And I'm going to do 20 of them. Let's go. If you've got your weights of any kind, bottles and tins, perfectly fine. I'm going to do my shoulder shrugs, just standing straight. Ready for 20. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together at the bottom, as well as pushing right through at the top. Got a mop handle now. Any smooth stick you're allowed to use for your upstart preps. The preps will be good for upstart on any other bit of apparatus as well as bar. But I'm just going to use one bar across the way. I wouldn't advise using 2 javelin style bars to practice your P bars. Either no bar or 1 bar is absolutely fine. To do the roll back, shins to bar and pike up again. So if you look at the other upstart video focusing on P bars, I was on the edge of a bed and I was able to come up. So I'm just going to do this on the floor, if I can get myself sorted. So I need to have my arms long, so I need to be careful I've got enough room. And my stick is quite wide, so I suggest you definitely test the space you've got nice and gently before doing the move. Holding on to the bar, and I'm going to pike back, legs to bar, and then sitting up, and that would be me in front support if I did the upstart. Straight arms, straight legs. First of all, legs to bar. There they are, and rolling forward, sliding that stick up my legs. gone off camera. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, I don't quite have the room for here. Can I move my bar over? May hit the coffee table. Let's see what happens. Lie back, legs to bar, slide forward and up. Straight arms, straight legs. So if you have space on a bed, then you could do the roll back on a bed or whatever, a little room on the sofa, and then stand up, and you'll be able to stand up right off of it with a bit of momentum. If you have time and space, a good one would also be the forward roll to stand up with straight legs, even if you're practicing that, but we can practice that pike forward, lifting up on the ground. So let's do 10 of them, but in your own time. Some more upstart preps with a stick as well. Ready for 10 hip lifts to get up forward in that pike shape. 1. There we go. So, something else that we're always working on and very good at would be our half turns. So you'd be in your back swing in a dish, and either you would move one hand all the way over first, other hand, and you'd be swinging forward, but you'd be in a dish. So usually when we're rolling over from a dish, you go to arch, but I want to practice rolling to dish. And if you can, you'd have a nice big high back swing, a big high release from the bar, and you'd be nice and high, hands off, and you'd have 2 hands, boom, down for dish. So I'm not quite getting up to my spider press up, but I'm pressing the top half of my body into a dish at the other side, as if I'm on the bar. So everybody, even if your half turn is easy and smooth, would definitely benefit from a few of them. Up to you whether you want to practice one hand, other hand push to dish a few times, or you want to go straight for the 2 hands, dish, push. Going to do a couple more of them, and it wouldn't do any harm while we're not on the bar to do our best to practice both sides, which isn't something I would ask you to do on the bar, except as a slow conditioning move like this. But I wouldn't ask you to do your half turn on the bar, but it wouldn't do any harm to practice it as conditioning on the floor. There you go. I hope you have fun and everybody in your house wonders what you're doing. Just say, I'm doing my half turn on my invisible floor bar. Of course, more for the girls, jumping right onto that low bar. But good work for everybody. Going to use the edge of this mat as a line for me. Front support, enough room between my hands for my feet to land, so I want to squat on to the bar and jump all the way up. If that doesn't remind you of vault, you're not thinking. So this is good for everyone. I'm going to do another 3 of them. Front support, in, up. And of course you've no time for even the slightest pause. So I'm going to make it as fast as I can. One that the boys will start to recognise as well. You would, of course, in any situation, be casting from higher up than your front support, but some of you will be straddling onto the bar, ready for your straddle undershoot. So I'm going to see I can put a bit of padding down in my hard floor. Don't be tempted to do this if you don't have any padding. Probably won't go well. Let's see. Straddle. Oh, I wasn't just so brave going down, but now that I've tried it once, I'm going to try it again. So you've maybe got a duvet or something at home if you don't have a mat, or a big blanket like this. So I'm going to try and straddle on that bar and then I'll let myself fall down to Japana. And that's a good skill to practice for everybody doing their straddle undershoot. So if straddle undershoot's one of your skills, or you want it to be, you can do a few of them. Of course, now we've worked some bar skills, you'll be ready to come off the bar with your absolutely solid, definitely stuck at landings. So I'm going to do 20 heel raises, keeping a fairly slow speed so that I'm working all those muscles, keep my ankles strong. Everything else nice and tight. Definitely not an exercise to do too quickly if you want to get the most of it. Although you'll notice I'm not going in slow motion either, just taking the time to go right up and right down again. There we are. Also, all of your squat exercises will help that firm motorbike landing. So I'm going to do 20 squat jumps, but you can also do your squat holds and your squat steps. Any of them are going to help all those muscles. So 20 squat jumps, go. Be in the habit of having your chin up and don't let your arms drop below your shoulders. And good old jump to lands. Seems really simple, but you honestly can't do enough of them for the well-being of your ankles. And of course, every bit of apparatus, you always have a landing. So you'll be either coming off the bar, mostly out of an undershoot, onto 2 feet, or from a backswing onto 2 feet. So any number of straight jumps. I'm going to do 5. Any number of half turns. And any number of full turns. Make sure you're having to work a bit to stick those landings. And I'll see you all back on the bar when we can.